Good afternoon and welcome to my channel, Spirit Filled Warrior Ministries. Today we are going to discuss loving each other. So that will be today's topic. And I wanted to talk about this or, bring this up because with us Hebrews, it looks like we are having a lot of problems here because we're not loving each other the way the Most High instructed us to love each other. We're so mean towards each other. Like we have this hate towards one another. We gossip and talk about each other. Whenever someone is doing good, we always want to just bring negativity or speak negative things against them instead of being happy for them, instead of rejoicing with them. There seemed to be a lot of jealousy. And it's like we will treat other nationalities better than we'll treat our own. We just not only just have, it seems like a hatred towards one another, but when you really look at it, it's like they hate themselves as well, as an individual. And that is really troubling. Okay. So, I just wanted to discuss this today, to go over some scripture to see what the word says about us loving each other and how we are supposed to love each other. Okay, so let's begin. So first we're going to start with Matthew chapter 22, verses 34 through 40. 34 through 40. So that's chapter 22, Matthew chapter 22, 34 through 40. And it says, "But the Pharisees, having heard that he, which is Yahusha, had silenced the Sadducees, were gathered together. And one of them, one learned in the Torah, did question, trying him and saying, 'Teacher, which is the great commandment in the Torah?' And Yahusha said to him, 'You shall love Yahuwah your Elohim with all your heart, and with all your being, and with all your mind.'" Okay. This is the first and great command. And the second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. On these two commands hang all the Torah and the prophets. And the Torah is the law. Okay. So go back to verse 39. "And the second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself." Okay, so let's just kind of talk about that for a moment. So Yahusha is telling them that the second command is that you love your neighbor as yourself, right? Who is he talking to? When he was talking, to everyone about this, was he talking to like all nationalities, all other nations? He was actually talking about the Hebrews, okay? That's who he was talking to. And when we're reading the Bible, we need to know that as we're reading this, remember, this book is talking about the Hebrews. This book was written for the Hebrews by the Hebrews. Okay. So this is telling us that we need to love each other. And apparently our ancestors wasn't, they were doing the same thing we're doing today, because Yahusha made it a point to tell them, first you got to love Yahuwah with all your heart, with everything in you, with all your soul. You have to love him. He's our creator. And then the second command that he said was that we should love our neighbor. And he's talking about amongst ourselves. We need to love each other. We don't. We act so wickedly towards one another. And it's a shame. We prefer other people than we prefer our own. And that's alarming. And it's sad. Okay? And so then we're going to go to Matthew 25, and that's verses 31 through 46. And before we read on that, when I read Matthew 22, because we have that mindset where, we just prefer everybody else than ourselves. I'm going to go back and we're going to talk about the Gentiles as well, okay? To make people feel better, okay? Not, excluding them, but we need to deal with home first before we deal with anyone else. We need to prefer each other before we prefer anyone else, okay? That's like you having your own house and you worried about other people than you are the people in your own home, your family. You got to look out for home first before you look out for anybody else. Okay? I'm just saying. So again, that's Matthew chapter 25, verses 31 through 46. And it says, hold on, 25, 31 through 46. Okay. And when the Son of Man comes in his esteem, and all the set apart messengers with him, then he will sit on the throne of his esteem, and all the nations shall be gathered before him, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd separates his sheep from the goats. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. Then the sovereign, or the king, shall say to those on his right hand, Come, you blessed of my Father, inherit the reign prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me food. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you took me in. Was naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came to me. Then the righteous shall answer him, saying, Master, when did we see you hungry, and we fed you, or thirsty, and gave you to drink? And when did we see you a stranger, and took you in, or naked, and clothed you? And when did we see you sick, or in prison, and we came to you? And the sovereign shall answer and say to them, Truly I say to you, insofar as you did it to one of the least of these, my brothers, you did it to me. He shall then also say to those on the left hand, Go away from me, accursed ones, into the everlasting fire prepared for the devil and his messengers. And y'all know messengers are angels, right? For I was hungry, and you gave me no food. I was thirsty, and you gave me no drink. I was a stranger, and you did not take me in, was naked, and you did not clothe me, sick and in prison, and you did not visit me. Then they also shall answer him, saying, Master, when did we see you hungry or thirsty, or a stranger, or naked, or sick, or in prison, and did not serve you? Then he shall answer them, saying, Truly I say to you, insofar as you did not do it to one of the least of these, you did not do it to me. And these shall go away into everlasting punishment, but the righteous into everlasting life. So we'll see people in need, we won't even help them, and we have the means. We'll say, oh, they got such and such to help them. Why should I help them? Or you see a person who's homeless and you like, I don't want to give them any money, because what if they go and buy it on drugs or alcohol? I mean, that's none of your business. If the Most High put it on your heart to give it to them, then give it to them. Whatever they choose to do with that money, that's between them and Yahuwah. But he's looking at your heart. He's looking at, do you have love for your brother or your sister? I mean, that's how a lot of us are. We see people in need, we see people hurting, and we make them feel worse. Or we don't reach out to try to help them. We don't take the time out to do that. And I'm not just talking about, oh, I do things for my immediate family. No, do things for people who you don't know. Especially people that look like us. We need to help each other, be there for each other. That's how we show love towards one another. When we are, being selfless and helping others. When we see someone hungry and we're feeding them, we see that they don't have any shoes on, and we know that we might have a pair of shoes in the back that it looked like it might fit them. Give them the shoes. It's cold outside. You have an extra coat. Give them the coat. It's things like that. And, we don't take the time out to do that. We look down on people, we got to get better. Because in this, what's this, verse 46, it says, and these shall go away into everlasting punishment. The ones who didn't feed anyone, didn't clothe anyone, didn't go and visit them when they sick. Come on now. He looks at that stuff. He looks at what's in our heart. And if we have a hard heart, he already showed you what's going to happen. You'll go into everlasting punishment. And we know what everlasting punishment is. We need to love one another. But first, if you have any issues within yourself, you got to pray about it and ask Yahweh to help you to love yourself, to love you because he created you. So therefore, you're made perfect. He created you. He created all of us. So to hate something that Yahweh created, it's not good. It's not a good thing. We shouldn't hate. Hate is very dangerous. And the Most High is not pleased with that. And then when he's helping you to love yourself and to be, happy with the way that he created you, then that's when you just love your brothers and sisters. We have to love one another. And, I know we could be a trip. Trust me, I know we can. We are very challenging, okay? We could be very difficult. But how are we going to get better as a nation? How are we going to build up our nation if we're hating one another, killing one another, doing all of these horrible, evil things towards one another? How are we going to build up our nation? And people, they're looking at us. You see Asian people, they'll stick up for each other. You'll see Hispanic people sticking up for one another, being there for each other. But we, the Hebrews, a lot of times we don't. And it's a shame. It's heartbreaking. We got to do better, family. Okay? And it was at one time where, we did kind of, more of us were there for each other. We still had some that didn't, but it just seemed like the more time goes on, the more driven apart we are from one another. And that's what the enemy wants. And you see people, they talk about us, they laugh about us, be like, how are they the Yahweh's chosen people when they can't even get along with each other? But see, if they read the word, they'll see that it was like that before with our ancestors. It's like we grown so cold towards one another that, we just, the men turn away from the women turning away from the men. It's just outrageous. It's just crazy. Okay. And so now we're going to go now to the Old Covenant, which is the Old Testament. And I'm going to take you to Deuteronomy 28. And I'm going to show you something. Okay. The Most High, he knew all this stuff was going to happen. He knew that we were going to treat each other like this. So if we go to Deuteronomy 28, and we're going to go to chapter 54, and then we're going to go over to chapter 56. Okay, so 54 then 56. Again, that's Deuteronomy 28. We're going to start with chapter 54. Chapter 28, verse 54. And it says, the man among you who is tender and who is very delicate, his eye is evil against his brother, against the wife of his bosom, and against the rest of his children whom he leaves behind. Who that sound like? Us, the Hebrews. His eye is evil against his brother and against the wife of his bosom. And remember I say how the men turned away from the women? Because, oh, she's an angry black woman. And, oh, they just have too many problems. Well, why do she have those many problems? I mean, she just didn't wake up one morning and all of a sudden it just appeared where Hebrew women just started having these attitudes and having problems. Now let's jump down to 56. Okay, it's not just the brothers. The tender and the delicate woman among you who has not tried to set the sole of her foot on the ground because of her delicateness and tenderness, her eye is evil against the husband of her bosom and against her son and against her daughter. Wow. And you see that too with the sisters. They have this thing against the men. So it goes both ways. Making it seem as if their children is a burden. It's crazy. It becomes a problem because before you could be like, oh, we don't do stuff like that. But now it's like, it's just the same way. You can't even tell the difference anymore. The only way you could tell the difference is because of the skin color. But the ways of the heathens, the Hebrew people are taking it on. I can no longer say, oh, my people don't do that, because they are starting to do stuff like that. And this is not anything being racist or anything, but this is some truth. People don't want to talk about that. That's like America. How is America going to go and take care of other countries and not take care of what's going on here in America? And you see how that happens. It's a lot of things going on here. And we're taking care of other people. You got to take care of home first. If your home is not in order, how you going to take care of anybody else? We always, like I said, trying to look out for other people. Oh, and we will believe, what the Gentiles say, but I'm not supposed to believe what my people say. That's not right. That's not the correct information. They must be wrong, because we have it drilled in our head that what they say is right, that it's law, which, it might be to them, but anything that goes against the Most High Yah, we shouldn't be doing it. And hating our brothers and sisters, hating ourselves, that's not of Yahuwah. So if you say that you love Yahuwah with everything in you, but you hate your brother or your sister, you don't love Yahuwah. You hate him. Because we belong to him. We are in covenant with him. So think about that. And now let's go to 1 Peter chapter 2. That's 1 Peter chapter 2, verses 15 through 17. And it says, because such is the desire of Elohim, which Elohim is God, by the way, but some people might say it's Elohim, that's the modern day, I guess, Hebrew for God, but it's actually Elohim, okay? Because such is the desire of Elohim, that by doing good you should put to silence the ignorance of foolish men, as free, yet not using your freedom as a cloak for evil, but as servants of Elohim. Respect all, love the brotherhood, fear Elohim, respect the sovereign. Like I said, sovereign the king. Okay. Respect all. So just because I'm saying we love each other, that I'm saying that, just hate other people. No. Okay. Because remember, there are some Gentiles that's going to be grafted in. and that's already grafted in. Of course, we have to love them because they're in the family, okay? Other people, it says, let me go back, respect all. We still have to respect people. We can't just sit there and be hateful and ugly towards people. That's not the way of Yahuwah. We still need to honor and respect people. But you see, it says love the brotherhood. There was kind of like a separation. Respect all, but we have to love the brotherhood. Meaning we got to love each other, us Hebrews. The people who's grafted in, we have to love each other. Okay? Respect all, but we got to love each other. We got to love our family. The ones that, that belongs in the nation of Israel. We have to love one another. So I just, wanted to just go over this because, normally I will do a video like once a month. That's what I've been doing. But it's really disturbing because, we've been discussing that a lot. And it just breaks my heart how ugly we are towards one another. Okay. And I hope that you really listen to this message and just understand we need to love each other. Okay. We need to love each other. I'm talking about the ones who look like me, the ones who are grafted in, that knows that we are Yahuwah's people, the ones who most importantly love Yahuwah, who, says that Yahusha is their Adon and their savior. That's, those, yes, they're grafted in their family. Okay. So they're part of Israel. So we have to love one another. But us, the one that look just like me, we need to stop hating on one another. We do. Let's try to do that today. Let's make it a point to just be, respectful towards one another. And whenever we see someone in need and we're able to do it for them. Because remember, our Father is looking at us in heaven. He's looking at us. He's seeing all these things. If we are not, doing what it says in Matthew 25, what Yahusha told us, if we're not doing those things, we're not following the ways of Yahusha. Remember, we imitate him. He's telling us what to do. So if you're doing opposite of what he's telling us, then what that makes you? Remember, Yahuwah said that we are supposed to listen and be obedient to his son Yahusha. He's our savior. He's our Messiah. So we imitate what he does. Okay? We're ambassadors. And look how we're acting. We can't be acting like heathens. That's not the way the Most High called us to act. We are a family of royalty. So I just, wanted to, like I said, just go over that and just, you have any doubts about what I'm saying, just pray about it. Okay. We're supposed to do that anyways. Whenever we are listening to someone and we're doubtful about anything, always go in prayer. Okay. Read the word, just study, what I was telling you. But remember, he was talking to the Hebrews. That's who Yahushua was talking to. He wasn't talking to other people. He was talking to the Hebrews. Okay. And again, because I know some people would take some things and run with it, we still have to be good to other people who are non-Hebrews, the Gentiles. We still have to be good to them, especially the ones, like I said, that's grafted in, because they're family. So we love them as well, okay? Just like we love our brother and sister, we love them too. But remember, our family, the Hebrews, we need to make sure first we love each other. That's a must. Then you worry about everybody else. but we worry about each other first. We take care of each other. We are family. We are the mashpachah, which is family in Hebrew. Okay? We have to make sure that we show love towards one another, respecting each other, having compassion for one another, building one another up in prayer with, speaking words of wisdom and love and what else? And just holiness, just all good things. We got to speak good things on each other. Don't speak bad things, okay? Don't curse your brother or your sister, okay? So that's all I have. I just, wanted to, just discuss this with you all, and hopefully Yahuwah, no, I pray that Yahuwah, not hopefully, I pray that Yahuwah will open the eyes to your understanding and help you to love your brother and your sister. Okay? So you all, may Yahuwah bless you. I love you all, and take care of yourselves and love each other.